everybody? Welcome in to another episode of the NFL Seekers podcast. Today, we're going to be doing a full 7 round mock draft for each NFC East team, continuing our series. Definitely check out our past episodes to see your favorite teams. We have a few coming out soon. It's been really fun. Two teams picking in the top six in this one, two teams that are definitely going to be looking at the quarterback position. So, some fun discussions to be had. I'm really excited. How are you, Josh?
Doing really good. Check Tuesday. Check Tuesday.
This kid's
Tuesday
obsessed with
mock
sketch.
series. Yes, yes. Tuesday mock series continuing. 7 round mocks for all the NFC East. This is going to be fun. This is going to be really exciting. We're getting them all out before the draft, baby. So I think we're the only people doing this on the internet. 7 round mocks for all your teams. So, show us some love, show us some support, and, tell us what you think.
Yeah, a little unique series here to the NFL Seekers. We started it this year, and we're gonna keep it every year. So I like it a lot. It's been really fun. I guess definitely comment your thoughts on all of our drafts when we're done with them. But do you want to just get into the Commanders because there's a lot of picks to be had, a lot of discussions to be had, and we got to talk about this quarterback position.
Yes, yes. Let's jump into it. We got a lot of picks to make. And I mean, me and you are on the same page here. It's kind of the no-brainer pick in our opinion. There's a lot going back and forth between the Drake May and the Jaden Daniels conversation, and truly, we don't know. We don't know. There has been no leaks out of the Commanders camp so far this season, but me and you are on the same page. Really, when it comes down to it, Drake May is just flat out the better player. In our opinions, he's bigger. He's stronger. He's got a more powerful arm. I like the upside of Drake May a lot more. I think he's a lot more natural, passer of the ball. And he's just fantastic. So, I mean, I'm guessing you're on the same page as me. It's Drake May and it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. It is interesting. I feel like the consensus right now is completely 50-50. I'm definitely not confident in this, but I do think that Drake May is just leaps ahead of Jaden Daniels as a player. So I have some hope that, Kingsbury can identify that and he would want to work with him. May feels like that better quarterback for a Kingsbury offense. He's a great mover. I think he's being underrated as an athlete. He's honestly pretty dang athletic. I feel like he's pretty fast and he's a perfect quarterback prospect to me. So I am totally in agreement with this. We'll go Drake May to the Commanders, acknowledging it could be Jaden Daniels. It's really up in the air. This is one of the harder picks to predict right now, but I totally think that Drake May is the smart pick. I mean, he's really multiple tiers above Jaden Daniels as a quarterback. I don't think that can be overstated. So let's build around Drake May. That sounds fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Drake May, if it wasn't for, he had a little bit of a down year this year, in terms of play from his 2022 season. I mean, his 2022 season, he was being considered, right there with Caleb Williams for potentially, maybe even leaping Caleb Williams for the first overall pick. But he did have a little bit of a down year, but it does not worry me at all. He still played fantastic. And some of the throws this guy makes is just, it's Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. Like he is big, strong, physical. Those are who I compare him to. Where Jaden Daniels is on the slimmer side, and it does scare me, at the next level of him getting banged up, where I don't have any of those concerns for Drake May.
Yeah, I mean, no concerns at all for Drake May. He's a blue chip generational quarterback. To me, would be the number one pick in every single draft, essentially. But let's move on. Let's get past the quarterback discussion. And now that we're off that, let's discuss kind of the rest of the biggest needs. And reviewing this roster, I'll be honest, impressed by the Redskins roster, impressed by the Commanders roster, impressed by what Dan Quinn has done. I really don't think there's that many needs. I was kind of going into this thinking there would be more needs, but I don't know. I think tight ends definitely a need. You got Zach Ertz and John Bates, and Ertz is very much up there in age. So I think tight end might be like your biggest need outside of quarterback. Tackle is definitely a need. Andrew Wiley wasn't great last year, and Braden Daniels, I don't really think you want to rely on as your starting left tackle right now. So I do think tackle is something we need to look at, and then maybe edge. Don't really love Clelin Ferrell starting, although I do like Dorrance Armstrong.
And honestly, right here, I agree with everything you just said. Right here, I think your positional value on tackle, I think it'll drop off substantially more. This is probably where you're going to get a starter, because you're so high in the second round. You could definitely go Jatavion Sanders here. That would be a very explosive, exciting tight end, immediate upgrade to that room. But I feel like for positional value here, and I feel like, the drop off going forward is it gets bigger at tackle. I mean, to find legit, starting tackles in round 3 and 4, is very iffy. You're more taking projects, and I feel like you need a guy right now and a plug and play guy. And I'm kind of looking Jordan Morgan. I don't know what you're thinking.
Your process is perfect. So we actually have a pick coming up here in 4 picks. So we're going to grab this tackle. I mean, we're very happy that Jordan Morgan is on the board. First of all, first round prospect, 100% to me. He's a really solid left tackle, 100% confident you start him day one as left tackle, and then Braden Daniels can be your swing, and that's pretty beautiful. So I have no qualms with that. I really love bringing in Jordan Morgan, and I think we could look at tight end here now.
Yeah, I mean, the drop off. So there's Brock Bowers, and then there's the Pacific Ocean, and then there's Jatavion Sanders, and then there's a smaller ocean between there. But yeah, I mean, the drop off from 1, 2, and 3 is substantial in my opinion. And you have the chance to, you pair your young quarterback up with a very, friendly tight end. This guy's gonna be, a quarterback's best friend. He can get open very easily. He's got sneaky good after the catch ability, and he's a solid tight end, man. I thought there's a lot left to be, or a lot left on the bone at Texas. But he's a great player. He kind of reminds me of a souped up Gerald Everett. But yeah, I'm a big Jatavion Sanders fan, and I would love the pick here.
Yeah, just a great receiving tight end would be so fun with Drake May. Don't really need to talk about it too much. Just a fun projection. You get Drake May, another weapon. When that's a pretty big need as well. So I like the value. I love the pick. Let's move on to round 3. I think the next positions we should look at are edge, corner would be nice, maybe interior offensive line, someone to compete on the inside.
Yes, I mean, just the value of Jalen Polk there would be kind of intriguing.
Definitely. He's a good complement to those two receivers, Dotson and McLaurin as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could definitely upgrade your wide receiver 3, 100%. I don't really feel like Diami Brown, Jamison Crowder, Dax Milne, or anything special, or Zacchaeus. I mean, it is great value there, but I mean, there's definitely bigger positions of need, like you said. Who do we got on the board at corner?
It is great value. It's very tempting. The corners are definitely solid. Kyrie Jackson would be a nice outside corner. Bernardo Green, crazy and man coverage would both be nice.
Oh,
Even Jerry and Jones maybe a little bit later to start in the slot or to compete with Quan Martin at least.
maybe just for the value factor here, we go Jalen Polk, and then maybe we circle back to Jerry and Jones there.
Yeah, do you think he would be? I think he would be here in the third round. I don't want to
I
make it
mean,
too
I think it's
unrealistic, but
possible. I mean, I have a great day two grade on him. I do see him probably going a little earlier, but I mean, they pick so early in the third round, there is a good chance.
yeah, that's true. They picked very early. So we'll go with Poole because that's just a really fun complement to that receiver room with Terry McLaurin, Dotson. You've got Zacchaeus as the 4, Diami Brown. So I really do like that as a compliment. We'll go Polk, just crazy value. We could have gone Tez Walker and paired him up with Drake May, but Polk's just a
He's a good
far
prospect.
better prospect.
He'll catch the ball. He'll actually catch the ball.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I say we go corner here. I think we get, another outside corner opposite of Emmanuel Forbes, who we
Wow,
feel a little.
Kyrie is still on the board and Renardo. I think we just got to choose between one of them.
I mean, Kyrie Jackson probably be the pick here, in my opinion.
They love their
Um,
tall guys.
Yeah, he's big, he's physical. He yeah, 6'3", 195. Yeah, he's a true outside corner. Get in your face, press, press, good in man coverage, good in zone. Yeah, you pair him opposite of Emmanuel Forbes and you're feeling good on the outside. And I mean, I mean, you could upgrade your slot corner. But you could do that. You can do that a little bit later. Or I feel like you actually have some guys that can play in the slot, whether a nickel, I mean, maybe even Jeremy Chin takes that over that role and you go a different safety. Um, ooh, yeah, I like Kyrie Jackson here.
Yeah, I like Kyrie Jackson a lot. I'm gonna look at edge, just to make sure there's not a huge drop off. I like a few of these edges, so unless you want to go Booker, but I like Kyrie Jackson.
Ooh, he's a good value here too. Um, Gosh, I mean, with these, I feel like there is a bigger drop off at edge. Um, Ooh,
That's true.
Booker
We
would be
could
a
target
good
Renardo
fit.
Green.
Yeah. When's our next pick? 100. Yeah, I
Uh,
think we could maybe get Renardo Green or Jerry and Jones.
right.
And I think, yeah, there's a pretty bit. I would say Austin Booker here.
Dan Quinn
Yeah,
loves his toolsy edge rushers. He's got size. I think he's honestly the perfect Dan Quinn edge rusher.
he is. Yeah, he is a defensive-minded head coach. You got some veterans on that defensive line right now. Yeah, you could add a toolsy Austin Booker. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that, Austin Booker, and let's go plug in corner right here. Maybe we could even double dip at corner, honestly.
Yep, definitely see what corners are on the board. Renardo Green is off the board, but DJ James is on the board. Jarvis Brownlee is incredible value. Don't know if he would be. It is the end of round three. He definitely could be there. I wouldn't mind Brownlee.
Cam Hart, Elijah Jones too. Elijah Jones had the highest graded man coverage. I know it's one of your favorite players in this draft. What's DJ James measurables?
Let's see. He is 6'1", 165. Just a nice normal.
Hey, I mean, last year they drafted a soaking wet 160-pound Emmanuel Forbes. You want two skinny corners, two Slim Shadys on the outside?
Maybe they would go Cam Hart and hedge that. Maybe they'd go the bigger body guy.
Yeah, no, I would definitely on my board Cam Hart and then Elijah Jones and Brownlee would definitely all be above DJ James. Do you want to go Cam Hart here?
I'm definitely fine. Let's see if there's anyone that stands out on the board. But yeah, I think I'm fine. I would like Michael Hall as well, but you have so many interiors already. That's just kind of just overkill. I think I do like going corner.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of your pick. I mean, Cam Hart is a true outside corner, just tested really good throughout the process here. A big physical guy. I think that pair honestly perfect with on the other side of Emmanuel Forbes.
No, I like it. Let's get Dan Quinn, that nice big, lengthy, physical corner. Really can be shut down. He's a lot of upside. So I like that. Moving on, let's maybe look at interior offensive line, maybe interior defensive line. McKinley Jackson, some good value here.
Ooh.
Receiver, we could double dip.
I mean, what do we think about Percy Butler? Are we, as starting free safety?
Well, it's not really Percy Butler. I think just the rotation of Percy Butler, Derek Forrest, Jeremy Chin, Jeremy Reeves. That's what I don't mind. Like you have four deep
Oh,
almost, but
that
Jeremy Chin, I think the plan is for him to mostly play like sub
and Quan
linebacker.
Martin can play strong as well.
Yeah.
He's got flexibility, and I mean Quan Martin probably your starting nickel. Did have Michael Davis as well as a slower outside corner at this point in his career. Um, I mean, Colin Farrell. Do we go back to the offensive side of the ball? Yeah, maybe address
Go
the interior.
interior.
Oh, Zach Zinter.
Ooh. Yes.
This is about probably where he'll go. And if you're banking on upside, oh, he's got. I mean, he could push Cosme. He could push Alleghetti day one as a starter. I would love that.
Yeah, you have time to let him get healthy. You have some players that will compete with him. That's a really perfect pick, honestly. Really love that. Moving on to the next pick, we could double dip at edge, honestly, go defensive interior.
They could be the team to take a shot at Kalen King too. Definitely struggled throughout the process. And I mean, you do have Bobby Wagner. Probably, I mean, but Jamin Davis, Frankie Luvu, they got a pretty damn good
Yeah.
linebacker room. Probably don't need to address that.
Maybe
Uh,
defensive interior. Ooh, I do like Tyler Davis, just a complete run stopper. He's just a run stop specialist, and then you can let the other two guys be pass rushers.
yeah, I mean, in like a true, nose tackle form, yeah, I'd like that. You pair him on the line with Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen.
Yeah, get that 90.8 run defense grade to play on early downs. I kind of like that. A fun little rotational piece for them. Good value. I like that. Moving on, I kind of want to double dip at like edge receiver. Could double dip
What
at
do we
corner.
double dip at corner?
I
Do we
don't
double dip?
mind the depth at corner. I don't mind like Benjamin St. Juice was actually good last year. You have Michael Davis. You signed
Yeah,
James Pierre, Igbenogany.
Commanders fans, you really could be competitive this year.
Yeah,
There's a wide open, the Cowboys and the Eagles. That they're you can overtake them. You can overtake them, and I mean, you know, Dan Campbell. He could. He really could. He really could.
I don't
Ooh.
know what positions to go. Like honestly, this Commanders team is more filled out than you would think. Like it is hard
It's
to
like
draft.
there's just not that many holes on this roster. I mean, you can just focus on building your depth, but there really is not that many holes going through the roster. Um,
I'm thinking another edge maybe.
what about kicker? Who's our
Could go.
kicker? Oh, McManus.
No, they got McManus. They're filled out, man.
I think
The
AJ
last
Wood.
pick. Let's just pick someone.
um, Dylan McMahon would be a good pick. You add to that interior. You
They've already
know,
added interior though.
yeah.
Could
I
go
mean, we can go running back. Austin Eckler is old. I mean, but then you got Brian Robinson Jr. and Chris Rodriguez, who both have potential. I mean, I really do like Josh Wallace. I don't think he's a starting corner, but he is a really good special teams player, and you draft special teams players, here. Um, so I see him being an immediate special teams contributor from day one, but not a starting corner by any means, but could maybe grow into that role.
Yeah, let's solidify Wallace in there, and that's a pretty dang solid draft for the Commanders, who already have a pretty solid team going into the draft. Do you want to read it off?
Yeah, so starting off at pick number 2 overall in the NFL draft, you get your franchise quarterback of the future in Drake May. And like I said, I compare this guy, from the physical stature to Justin Herbert and Josh Allen. He's got that cannon of an arm. He can actually sneakily run very fast, but just a very sound quarterback and just a guy who you look at and, somebody that you can get your franchise excited about. And then protecting him in round 2, pick 36 with Jordan Morgan, a plug and play at left tackle for you. And then another round 2, pick 40 from the Bears that you got last year, Jatavion Sanders, to immediately take over that tight end role from Zach Ertz, who can you can use him on whatever downs you want. And then getting Jalen Polk, round 3, pick 67 to add to Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. That's an absolutely stacked receiving room. And then getting um, in round 3, pick 78, Austin Booker to add to your edge room. And then round 3, pick 100, Cam Hart, who can be an immediate outside day one starter at corner. And then taking probably one of the highest upside guys in the draft at Zach Zinter, guard from Michigan. If he wasn't hurt, this is a guy who would probably talking about as a first, second round pick. Round 5, pick 152, Tyler Davis, a big and run stuff and nose tackle from Clemson, and then a special teams contributor in round 7, pick 222, Josh Wallace. So a lot of picks. This is a super solid draft. Like I said, Commanders, the door for the NFC East is wide open for you to take it.
Yeah, absolutely electric draft. Moving on to the Giants, who pick at 6. The discussion is another quarterback discussion. It's going to be interesting, and I do think that Brian Dable would be eyeing Jane Daniels. Just feels like he likes the tools that Jane Daniels possesses. Maybe JJ McCarthy as well, but I do think ultimately it would be Jane Daniels. I don't think Jaden Daniels is there at 6. I think you would have to trade up for Jaden Daniels. So I guess we'll just start it, see who's there at 6. But I mean, what do
Yeah,
you
you're
think?
not getting Jay Daniels at 6. There's no way. He will be off the board. If you really want a quarterback in this scenario, you do, in my opinion, have to move up and get one. I feel like somebody will be destined to hop above you and pick a JJ McCarthy if he was there. But I don't even know if I would feel like Dayball would even like or really be entertained by McCarthy. What do you think about McCarthy? I don't know. I just haven't heard anything about that or really believe that I'd even like the pairing.
Yeah, I mean, I would like the pairing of Dable and McCarthy, but I just don't think that they would add him to a room of Locke, DeVito, Danny Dimes. I just, for some reason, don't see JJ McCarthy being added to that room. That's just, I don't know, it just feels redundant and weird. So I think Jane Daniels would be the guy. He's not here at 6. I think you would have to trade up. We're not going to trade up for him. Do you want to just go Rome Odunze here? Do you want to restart it and try to get neighbors because he's the Odell Beckham Jr. regen? What do you want to do?
I mean, really, when I'm thinking of team fit for this team, Romo Dunze, I feel like is their best fit, to be honest with you. I mean, he's a true alpha wide receiver one. when the game's on the line, you're looking at Rome Odunze. He's a third down machine. He has elite categories. I mean, none of these top three wide receivers are consolation prizes, man. They are all three elite, and they just happen to all be in the same draft class. I mean, when we're talking about three top 10 wide receivers, that's unheard of. So these guys are just at an elite level above most other draft classes. This is probably the most stacked wide receiver draft class, especially in the first round we've ever seen. And Romo Dunze immediately upgrade your wide receiver room tenfold. I mean, he comes in there and he is your best receiver by a long shot. And I think, he is that outside alpha wide receiver where I feel like he almost fits better in this system than Malik Neighbors would.
Yeah, 100%. That is kind of the discussion. His neighbors, like, say what you want about him, man. He thrives out of the slot. Like, the Jamar Chase comparisons are crazy to me because he plays on the outside. He's a big physical guy. He'll go up and moss you. Malik Neighbors is not doing that. He really does just thrive out of the slot. So I think with this
He's
roster,
explosive. He's more of an explosive,
yeah,
exciting threat. I feel like he's like the icing on the cake when you have a good receiving room and just really adds that next dimension that a lot of these receivers don't have. He's just super explosive. But when you're thinking about a guy that could be 100 targets every single year, thrive on the outside, mosh you, it's Romo Dunze all day long.
exactly. You get Odunze, you place him on the outside. He's that alpha outside wide receiver one. It really helps complement, Jalen Hyatt. It makes Jalen Hyatt, Slayton, Wandell Robinson, Isaiah McKenzie, Hodgins. It makes all of them just compliments, and it really helps them all. It makes them perform better having this alpha that everyone has to focus on. Everyone has to worry about him coming down with everything, every single contested catch. He's just insane. So I love the pick. He fits the room really, really well. Moving on to round two, kind of looking at the Giants' needs. PFF has obviously quarterback, has a little offensive line, defensive interior. I would say offensive line's kind of overstated. You bring in John Runyon and Aaron Stinney, Jermaine or Illuminor as well. You've got Evan Neal, who worst case scenario is going to be a solid guard. So I really don't think you need to go offensive line here. Zach Frazier would
Pretty
be
filled
quarterback.
out compared to the rest of your roster. Sorry to cut you off there, but it is pretty filled out compared to the rest of your roster. And I'm not giving up on Evan Neal by any means. I think he can definitely develop into something great. But yeah, out of your whole roster where you have Devin Singletary starting, we don't even know if Darren Waller is going to retire. You got a lot of holes on defense.
Really do have a
But
lot of holes. You you
yeah,
you got a
this
lot of holes. Safety, you lost Xavier McKinney, linebacker. You need another linebacker. You need a starting corner. Your starting corner opposite of Banks right now is Nick McLeod. So you got some work to do.
Yeah, I don't really think we may not even address offensive line in this draft, to be honest with you. We got a lot of other needs. And I mean, your edge rushers are great. The pairing of Kayvon Thibodeau and adding Brian Burns is awesome. And then you got Sexy Dexy in the middle. So I mean, I feel good a little better about the defensive interior. But do we look corner here? To pair on the other side of Deontay Banks, who's an absolute stud. I mean, like Renardo Green would be fantastic here.
I
Or
don't
I don't
love the value for corner yet because all of their values are closer to our next pick. Do you want to go Jaden Hicks to replace Xavier McKinney? Maybe the best safety in the draft.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you need you need safety help. That is probably your biggest glaring need outside of wide receiver. So yeah, let's go Jaden Hicks.
Yeah, get Jaden Hicks. You can replace Jason Pinnock on the starting lineup. You have Jalen Mills, and Jaden Hicks is just really good all around. He tested really well, great coverage grade. I think he's honestly going to be the first safety taken off the board with Newbin having a pretty bad testing just off season. So we'll go Jaden Hicks, and then we'll look at corner, maybe linebacker as well. I think both are big needs because you need someone to start day
Ooh,
one at both positions.
Edrin Cooper or Junior Colson.
Or Kyrie
That's
Jackson. That's tough.
oh, I feel like
Agner and Cooper feels like a giant though. Perfect complement to Okariki. It's nice.
he's a great coverage linebacker. He had like 9 sacks this offseason. He can run down hill and blitz really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
86.4 pass rush grade, 85.5 coverage grade, 87.6 run defense grade. Like just incredibly versatile and well
yeah,
rounded.
that's an incredible pick right there. That's a immediate upgrade um over your entire linebacking room. And I think he's a starter day one for you in the middle of that defense, which desperately needs help at that level.
It's kind of beautiful. I really think he would be a perfect complement to Okereke. And now we can look corner. I feel like there will be at least someone here.
Hear me out. Sione Vaki is your running back one and is a starter at nickel or safety for this team. He feels that's a double. That is a double. That's a that's killing two birds with one stone right there. You upgrade two position groups with Sione Vaki.
Dable would be smart enough to play him at running back. I wouldn't mind, drafting him to be a running back if that's your vision. I don't hate it.
I mean, your running back room is Singletary and Eric Gray. Um, yeah, it's gross. It's really gross. Um, do we draft Sione Vaki to be the RB1 and possibly safety depth?
I don't mind it. I think I totally think that Sione Vaki is worthy. I think he's by far the best running back on the board. It's just like it might look goofy that we drafted, two safeties with Jaden Hicks and Vaki, but if you just think of him as a running back, I think he's the best receiving running back in this class. I think it would be kind of beautiful.
I mean, we could go the safer pick and we could go Marshawn Lloyd or something like that. But yeah, I mean, Sione Vaki really is the best running back on the board. And given, what situation you're in, um, you know, he can play defense at a very elite level. And that's why he's listed as safety. Ooh, that's a perfect pairing, man. I don't know.
He's got those crazy that feet movement. His feet movement is literally rare. Like you don't see it often, and he's not even a running back. He moves like Saquon. We're gonna get Sione Vaki to be that complement to Devin Singletary. If you don't like it, just envision it's Marshawn Lloyd then. But yeah, we're gonna go running back here.
Yeah, I mean, put him in whatever position you think he's best at. I think he can be an incredible running back. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of experience at running back. He did play wide receiver in high school. He came out of nowhere, and I was actually at the game versus Cal and just tore up the rest of the season at running back. So yeah, picture Sione as a running back safety hybrid. Um, just jack of all trades, master of many.
Yeah, he's a damn dynamic running back. He is the best receiving running back in this class. Just so natural and fluid. We'll go Vaki, really fun. If you don't like it, just envision it's Marshawn Lloyd or someone, but definitely thinking corner here feels essential.
Yeah, yeah, we need to upgrade our corner room. Honestly, the highest person on my board is Johnny Dixon. We could probably wait and get him with our last pick. Um, I don't know if you want to double dip somewhere.
Yeah, that's fine
Uh,
with me. Defensive interior could be good to get some depth. I think tight end, because Darren Waller's such a question mark, could be a smart pick.
Dallin
Dallin
Holker.
Holker.
Yeah, he'd be a great receiving tight end for you. Ooh, yeah, I love Dallin Holker here to be honest with you. And then with our next pick, or with our next, what pick is this? Oh, we only have one more. Dallin Holker, Johnny Dixon in the draft.
Yeah, let's do it. I feel like you can almost expect, honestly, that Darren Waller won't be back. It just seems like he's going to retire. Little sus vibes. I'm going to go down Holker because he's probably better
Nor
than
can
Darren
you
Waller.
count on him being on the field for 17 games. So you definitely need to address your tight end room because whether he retires or not, he's has proven he cannot stay healthy.
Probably better than Darren Waller already anyway as a player. So love that. And then we'll go Johnny Dixon to finish the draft out. Just, a player that can kind of have some upside. He can develop and he has some special teams.
Yeah, yeah, great athlete. That's what Penn State produces. But yeah, a guy worth taking a shot on.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it. Electric draft for the Giants. I think it's effective. It is painful like looking at your roster after this and seeing Daniel Jones as your quarterback when it's all said and done after the draft and you're going into the season. Feels like a lost season. I'll be honest. Feels like a Baker Mayfield type situation. Just feels like it's not going to work out. But we'll give him the best situation around him. We'll give him Romo Dunze, the alpha wide receiver one, to really complement that room with pick six. And round two, we'll go Jaden Hicks, maybe the best safety in the class. Just so good all around, so good in coverage. Replacing Xavier McKinney. Round three, you get Adrian Cooper to start day one at linebacker. Really good in all aspects. You get Sione Vaki round four to be that receiving running back to maybe develop into that Saquon replacement. He could also play, nickel for you, safety, anywhere, anywhere, literally anywhere. Just a Swiss Army knife. Round five, you get Dallin Holker, a really good receiving all around tight end to replace Darren Waller. And then round six, a nice developmental corner, Johnny Dixon. Love it.
Solid ass draft. Solid ass draft. You should be excited, Giants fans, if that is how your your draft turns out, because that is some immediate starters to your team to help fill it out. But yeah, you're probably 2 years out before you can realistically be competitive again.
100%. And then moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles, who pick at 22. We know what we're aiming for. It's just who's the best corner on the board round one. That's what we're thinking. And what corner fits this Eagles team the best to you?
I mean, I like I've said, I love me some Cooper DeJean, man. Just versatile, scheme versatile. He can play outside, he can play inside, he can play safety, and to a room that just needs help everywhere. This may be your chess piece on your defense, man. He can do everything, and he does everything at an elite level, and not even mention he has elite special teams. Um, he contributes to special teams at an elite level, and he's probably has the best ball skills of any corner in this draft. Yeah, I mean, I love Cooper DeJean here.
You absolutely need to go corner. So we're gonna attack it. Someone that Vic Fangio would really love because he can move him anywhere. He can be that Swiss Army knife and start a nickel one game, start on the outside at corner one game, start at safety one game, be Eric Weddle for you. Love it, love it. I think that I saw something. I don't know how reliable this is. That I think Cooper DeJean is like the only corner that the Eagles have had a top 30 visit with. So there are some links with this. It feels right. It feels like a Vic Fangio corner. Really, really slept on the outside. I think he can be a very solid outside corner. But with that, let's move on to round two. Thinking of the Eagles' needs, I think wide receiver three is essential. I think, they always love replenishing that offensive line. So I think they'll definitely be looking to go offensive line if someone falls. But I do think receiver would be fun.
Yeah, who is available on the interior of the offensive line? Just Christian Haynes would be fun. We could probably wait. What's our next pick? We could. Oh, they got two picks in here, 50 and 53. Um, so we could probably
Mari
go.
Lassiter get that Georgia corner. No, I'm kidding. That'd be crazy.
You really could. Your secondary is why you were so terrible at the end of the
Yeah,
season.
definitely
Uh,
is. You have a lot
I
of
would
picks.
I would not. I mean, do we do it?
That's the Eagles thing to do. I wouldn't mind it.
I mean, hell, why not attack? Why not double dip at the position that you were absolutely atrocious at last year? I mean, um, obviously, what do we have? James Bradbury, Darius Slay. Have they not cut those guys yet?
This is kind of funny. Like, honestly, they love their Georgia guys. Like, he has 50 Georgia players on that defense. He'd probably buy in and be pretty solid with Vic Fangio. I kind of like it.
Lassiter and Cooper DeJean, man, as your future at corner. That's beautiful. That is two aggressive, punch you in the mouth type of corners. I love it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
The NFL seekers are creative GMs where no one else is doing this. No one else is thinking of this. So we're doing generational stuff for the Eagles on our Howie Roseman stuff. Moving on, I think receiver is definitely like you have Devontae Parker as your wide receiver three right now. That's unacceptable. So I do think receiver is big, offensive line as well.
Yeah, is Christian Haynes still on the board?
Kieran feels like a nice Eagle, just so developmental. Christian Haynes is on the board. It's crazy value.
Yeah, Christian Haynes. And I honestly think Christian Haynes can give you that center guard flexibility. I might really, really like that. Keon Coleman would be kind of a cool compliment. We
I
could
don't think
probably
he would be there.
Yeah, probably not. Jalen McMillan
He
kind
does.
of feels like an Eagle. Um, I really like Jalen McMillan. If it wasn't for his injury, we may be talking about him, borderline of round one. More liking Jalen McMillan right here.
It's a
Like he
perfect slot receiver for AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Perfect. You lock him in the slot where he
I think
thrives.
that's really good value for him too. And again, yeah, a guy who got injured this season who probably would have been, a higher pick, whether he not got injured, borderline first round. But you see in 2022, 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. Jalen Polk kind of got to thrive because Jalen McMillan wasn't in, but I love the prospect.
Yeah, absolute beast. He's a perfect slot receiver prospect. You can just slot him right in, and he'd be very, very productive for the Eagles day one with those two great receivers on the outside. Moving on, we can definitely consider offensive line here. We'll go best offensive lineman available, whether it's tackle or interior.
Oh, Cooper BB. Oh, that's he's number one on my board here. What do you have?
Cooper BB's nice, has really short arms. Could see him, could see Matt. Goncalves, a nice developmental tackle that the Eagles like. That is tough. That is tough.
Yeah, I would go either one. I feel like I wouldn't be mad.
Let's go BB. The Eagles always get these, crazy good, just college players, and they usually work
Look at
out.
that elite percentile in grades, man, right there. That's beautiful, beautiful stuff.
Nah, feels right. I kind of like that. We'll go BB. It just feels like an Eagles pick. They replenish with these great, productive college players, and that's exactly what BB was. We could definitely look to go offensive tackle. We could look to go
Tight end too. Somebody to pair with Dallas Goddard wouldn't be bad by any means either. Sorry, throw that out there.
just respect Albert O for me, please. No, I'm kidding.
Albert O. Oh, the Bronco legend in the flesh.
Dude, hear me out. Jalen Sundle or Javon Foster, just because they love their developmental tackles. Lane Johnson's getting up there in age. That could be good. Safety could be good.
Yeah, I mean, Howie Roseman loves planning for the future. That may be damn near perfect to sit behind Lane Johnson for a year and then ultimately take over that spot in a year or two.
Could go
I love
Malik
that.
Mustafa. He's a crazy box safety. He's literally like a linebacker that Vic Fangio might like as well. So I'm between those two.
Oh, the guilty is charged. I watched an episode about them talking about Mustafa. They were shook how low he was on PFF's board. Do you think he'll be here? I mean, these guys were talking about him being like a third round pick.
I've seen some mock drafts where he goes second, third round too. I kind of want to take him here just to highlight him because I think it'd be a good fit for the Eagles. But if you don't think he'd be here, we can go the other
What
direction.
round are we in?
Round five.
Oof. Yeah, that's late.
It's pretty
But I
late.
mean, just to highlight him because he's an incredible prospect. Um, Shout out the guilty as charged boys for turning me on to him. He was a fantastic prospect.
You want to say
Um,
tackle then?
I kind of like the idea of highlighting him, but Javon Foster to develop behind Lane Johnson is very, very tempting as well.
Well, yeah,
Let's go Mustafa.
no one knows about Mustafa. Let's just take him
Yeah,
and get his name out
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Literally, no one has heard of this guy's name. Draft him. Do it.
All
We
right.
got we gotta we gotta attack this secondary. We were
Yeah.
so ass at this position last year. It was embarrassing. So
Yeah.
let's just the rich need to get richer at this position.
That might allow you to just play him as your strong safety, play CJ Johnson in the slot. That definitely gives you some flexibility. So I really like that. Moving on, I think defensive interior would be nice. Tackle would be nice. Just the Eagles pick that developmental lineman is probably what they do.
100%. Gosh, there's good players. I wouldn't mind AJ Barner just really being that true pass blocking tight end for them. I mean, you got Dallas Goddard, who's more of a true receiver. AJ Barner is just a plug and play, offensive lineman, almost in my opinion, at the tight end position. Not a lot of receiving upside, but just a damn good blocker.
Grant Calcaterra and Albert O are more receiving tight ends. So yeah, let's get this really, really good blocker. Underrated as a receiver, just really good all around tight end. And then with the next pick, could go back to the Michigan well, get Drake Nugent, a nice center. Could go Ladarius Henderson, tackle.
Ooh, Drake Nugent would be tremendous value here. Yeah, another Michigan man, which they've just had one of the better offensive line in college football for the past couple of years. He's been coached right. Again, this feels like another Howie Roseman no-brainer pick.
Just lost Jason Kelsey. Don't really have to say too much more. And then the last pick can probably go, developmental defensive line for this one.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right,
Let's do
either
it.
edge or interior. We'll just go best overall defensive lineman available. Evan Anderson kind of feels like an Eagle, so I would say, yeah, let's go Evan Anderson unless you like, or Khalid Duke. I'll let you choose either edge or interior with the two.
I've not watched Evan Anderson. I have watched Khalid Duke, and I did like Khalid Duke. But tell me about Evan Anderson. I'm here to learn.
Really good pass rusher, really good run defense, just really good all around. But yeah, you see that
Oh yeah,
83.7.
look at those grades. Yeah, let's take the upside there. Out of Florida Atlantic, baby, Evan Anderson.
Really good run defense grade. So yeah, I like that. I'm gonna FAU interior in there. A developmental guy, and that feels like an Eagles draft. Maybe it's a little bit bold starting it off with two corners, but maybe we're just setting a point that that's what the Eagles really need to attack, and maybe that would be the smartest thing for them to ultimately do.
You need to address what you're weakest at, you know? But yeah, I'll round number one, pick 22, Cooper DeJean. Doubling down in round two, pick 50 with Kamari Lassiter. I mean, you're just securing your secondary with these two, and you're getting physical at that position. And it is a premium position with how these corners are getting paid these days. So absolutely love that. Double dipping there. Two A+ grades from PFF. They seem to love it as well. And then we have another round two, pick 53, Jalen McMillan, who immediately starts in the slot and complements Devontae Smith and AJ Brown perfectly. And then going Cooper BB, which is just a great value in the fourth round. He's a plug and play offensive guard. Safety out of Wake Forest, Malik Mustafa, very underrated guy. I think come Sundays, he's going to be a physical freak. You're going to see some highlight reels of him hitting people. Round five, 171, you get your blocking tight end, AJ Barner. Double dip with the Michigan Drake Nugent, center. And then Evan Anderson to end it off, a developmental defensive interior prospect from Florida Atlantic.
Absolutely beautiful. Feels like a Roseman draft. We may have just outdrafted Roseman. That was pretty beautiful stuff. So I really love it. Let's move on to the Cowboys. Feel like it's kind of just going to be a similar draft approaches for the two teams, honestly. But let's see who's there at pick one. I feel like offensive tackle is my most likely pick when I'm doing mock drafts for them. Jordan Morgan is the best tackle available. Isn't the greatest. I like JC Latham a little bit more here. So that does kind of leave the options open.
Well, we don't got any Mims or Latham or anything on the board.
Nope, not at all.
Damn. Maybe we attack a different position. Who's our best wide receivers on the board? Because, I mean, I'm kind of tired of CD just being, oh, yes, draft. Spam it. Spam it. AD Mitchell and CD Lamb. That is a
I'm gonna go
freak.
run it in. I'm gonna go sprint the card in real quick. I'll be
Go
right back.
bring spread the card. We will worry about offensive line in the coming rounds, but Adonai Mitchell and CD Lamb would be an absolutely electric pairing for Dak Prescott. I love that. Run the card up to the podium.
If you're not familiar with AD Mitchell, go watch him. The way he moves, the way he shakes, he just has that special movement. He looks like CeeDee Lamb. If you're a Cowboys fan, go watch AD Mitchell tape because you're gonna get CeeDee Lamb flashbacks, and then you're gonna get really, really excited to pair him with Brandon Cooks and these other pretty solid weapons on this team. So I really like that. It really helps Dak out. So I love that. And then we can attack offensive line the rest of the draft.
Yes, sir. Oh my God.
That's pretty
Zach
perfect.
Frazier. I don't know if he'll be here, but that would be another. You get your ass up to the podium and you make that pick right now. We don't even think about it. We don't even discuss this. I mean, just the pedigree and everything is Zach Frazier. We may have to do it because it might be too damn near perfect. Holy shit!
No, we're
Excuse my
doing it.
excuse my profanity right here, but damn boy,
We're sprinting this pick into. I'm panting right now. I'm out of
I
breath.
don't even know if I really have to look at the rest of the board here. It's Zach Frazier and wow, the Dallas Cowboys just get a Dallas Cowboys type pedigree lineman and just plug and play over who do you got? Brock Hoffman. Yes, we need an upgrade over Brock Hoffman.
Yeah, you lose Tyler Biadasz, so beautiful, beautiful replacement. I absolutely love it. Moving on to round three, can probably even consider tackle because you
We need
do
to
actually
probably go running back.
we do have TJ Bass starting at left guard, so we do have to figure out one more offensive line spot, and then running back would be very essential as well.
Trey Benson would be perfect. Or we could wait. What picks do we have?
Trey
One
Benson's by far the best running back available. I just don't know if he would be here.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of late. I mean round three. I don't know. He may. Ray
Good.
Davis would also be intriguing. But look, we don't have another pick till 174, and the running back drop off is gonna be ooh. I mean, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm probably trading up to get a running back. Honestly, I'd probably go interior offensive lineman
I would
or yeah,
really want Jonathan Brooks. Keep him in state. That's who I would really want.
yeah, I mean, I'd probably honestly consider trading up. But
I
I
kind
mean,
of like
position.
defensive interior here right now. Your defensive interiors are Osa Digazua and Mozzie Smith. I think that could be nice. Like a Michael Hall could have a really high upside in that defense. But
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, a guy that has incredible athletic traits in Michael Hall. I mean, Michael Hall, Trey Benson, or do we attack the interior of the offensive line again? Um, ooh, I really do like Michael Hall here, to be honest with you.
Are there any good
Yeah,
tackles? Pooney would be nice because you could start him at guard day one. That could be nice. Play tackle as well. That is nice.
I really like that as well. Wow.
Maybe
I mean, now
that's
I'm kind of between Trey, but I feel like they're going to value just needing a running back. Do we just go Trey Benson here?
well. I'm not expecting Rico Dowdle to be the starter. I do expect them to bring in Zeke or just bring in one of these free agents, but we could.
I mean,
I just think I could see Trey Benson being the first running back off the board is kind of my only thing. So I just don't know if he would be here. But you're right. They could go end of round two. This is probably a fine range for him. You're right.
I don't know. You got me thinking, Cowboys fans. Um, I mean, it depends how I mean, you can always wait. And there's free agent running backs available. Um,
There's still some pretty decent running backs on the board out. There's actually a decent
yeah,
amount of running
let's
backs.
wait. Let's wait on running back. We gotta go more premium position here. Pooney would honestly be perfect because you do got that tackle guard flexibility. He feels like a Dallas Cowboy, in my opinion. But Michael Hall is just so tempting. Maybe we just go Michael Hall. Maybe we just honestly go Michael Hall. I
I'm
I
not
love
gonna fight you with that. He's my guy in this class. He's day two Byron Murphy to me, so I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, let's go Michael Hall. That's a damn good fit. And if he's gonna thrive in a defense, it'd be the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he would be their best interior rusher day one. So I feel like that is perfect. You get that 20-year-old interior rusher. He's gonna start for you and be impactful. And here we can definitely look to see what running backs are here. There's a pretty big drop off. Kamani Vidal though is really really good. Maybe we just snag him.
I like Kamani Vidal. I like Dylan Johnson a lot. Cody Schrader, is not a bad. I'm good with either one of those two. Who do we have at offensive tackle? Yeah, no, I think Walter Rouse might be. Yeah,
Rouse
maybe
wouldn't be
we.
bad, but we got Pooney already though. I'm not really. I think we should maybe go
No,
running
no, we didn't
back.
get Penny. We went Michael Hall.
Oh,
Yes, with Michael Hall after that. After that back and forth discussion right there, that was one of the hard picks. Um, God, the Cowboys need to acquire more picks. Maybe they need to trade down in the first round. Maybe that's honestly a discussion. They need to collect more capital
maybe we go
and
Rouse.
yeah, go Rouse. What do the Cowboys value? It's offensive line, man. They need to be good there. That is just the pinnacle of what you think of the Dallas Cowboys' offensive line. So let's go Rouse, and then let's see who's on the board here, running back.
Yeah, let's see who's on the board to play a lot of snaps at running back. It's not the best pick'ems. Frank Gore kind of balled out in the Shrine Bowl in this Cowboys stadium. If you want to get him,
I really like Isaiah Davis too, as I could see him really being a bell cow running back, and then having Dodell, and Vaughn as your kind of change of pace guys.
yeah, I'm fine with Isaiah Davis. I wouldn't argue with that crazy
Look at
grade.
look. I mean, yeah. Look at the look at the grades for Isaiah Davis for a second. Elusive rating, rushing grade, zone grade, gap grade, yards after contact is all in the elite percentile. The 94.9, 89, 86. Ultra productive, 1,500 yards and 18 touchdowns, and 1,400 yards and 15 touchdowns. I think you take a dart throw on this guy.
Absolutely love it. I'm definitely not going to argue with it. You compete for a lot of snaps day one. Definitely just watch out for whatever running back the Cowboys get in Dynasty because I'm sure they'll be very productive. So, side note, but keep an eye on that. I think CJ Hansen has to be the pick here. We were kind of thinking about offensive line, and CJ Hansen's there. That's nice.
Do we want to look at a linebacker too?
You're right. Linebacker might be a little bit better. We did go Rouse. It gives us flexibility. Curtis Jacobs could be a nice coverage backer.
Yeah, Eric Kendricks absolutely sucks in coverage. Coming from a Chargers fan who watched him, he's an absolute liability. He's kind of a liability at everything. So you could definitely upgrade over really anyone. I mean, I love Marquise Bell playing linebacker. He is just one of the most fun players in the NFL.
And Damone
Um,
Clark is a stud. So yeah, I do like getting one more because Eric Kendricks is old. He's got like 6 games in him.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, Curtis or Boogie Watson may be a little bit better of a fit here. all-time leading tackler at Mississippi State. Trayvon Wallace is a value pick as well. Maybe I like Bookie a little bit better to complement the other two in the room.
Yeah, I like Bookie. Get him to compete for that starting role in that linebacker room. And then last
Oh,
pick,
we got another pick.
maybe corner.
Yes, who's our tight ends? Oh yeah, Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonmaker is more of a blocker. So I do feel good about the tight end room. Yeah, I mean we could go. I mean, I don't hate the corners. We could definitely go depth at corner. Do you want to double dip at? Ooh, JJ Weaver would be kind of an interesting prospect. A guy who, given the right system, has upside from Kentucky.
Have we gone edge yet?
No,
I'm fine with that. Then I don't mind that at all.
yeah, let's go JJ Weaver. Definitely a developmental prospect, but when the Mike's, yeah, they tell me I'm not wrong. Mike Zimmer is the defense coordinator, right?
You are correct.
Okay, yes, yeah, I like that pairing with Mike Zimmer there a lot.
Yeah. No, I love it. You get him a nice little developmental piece. Really fun draft for the Cowboys. You get 80 Mitchell round one to complement CD. 80 has shades of CD. That's crazy. You steal Zach Frazier in round two to instantly start at center. Still Michael Hall, crazy developmental interior that will start for you on that interior defensive line and be a relentless pass rusher. Round five, you get a developmental tackle. Cowboys thing to do. Round six, you get Isaiah Davis to compete for a lot of snaps. Day one, round seven, you get Bookie Watson to compete at linebacker. And then another round seven pick, you get a nice developmental edge and JJ Weaver. So really fun draft. Feels like a realistic draft for the Cowboys. And yeah, really fun going over all these. The NFC East was kind of a fun discussion just because there's a lot of, quarterback talk, a lot of higher capital picks. So yeah, this was really fun.
Yeah, this is awesome. I hope this one blows up because this was some good mocking right here, baby. This is a lot of value picks, a lot of good picks. And like I'm saying, man, if you're an NFL GM and you need some help, you know where to find us, baby. You know where to find us. NFL Seekers, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Music. We're everywhere, baby. So, hit our phone lines. We have no problem coming out there, and come April 25th and helping draft day.
Every time we do one of these, this guy is thinking that we're gonna get a call to be a GM because we're just cooking so good on these mock drafts. But no, yeah, definitely really fun finding all these fits. Definitely comment. Make sure to comment anything you hated, anything you liked. We'll take any comments. We'll
You can
if we
roast me. I do not care. Come at me with the hate. I love it. Just it helps the algorithm. Dislike us, like us. We love to hear everyone's thoughts.
if we missed a fit, if we missed a pick that you would have done, definitely let us know. Always loving the football discourse in the chat. So stay tuned to the NFL Seekers podcast. A lot of draft rankings coming out, more of these 7 round mock draft videos coming out for each team. NFC North coming next. So should be really fun. Really excited. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Peace.